everyone. My name is Meaghan Morris, here with Take a Sip. It's our 9th episode, and it is a very special episode indeed. I'm joined here with the stars of the Midday Minute. I have Jim and Debbie.
Thanks, Meaghan. You know, I'm a longtime viewer, first-time guest on the show, and it's really exciting to be here for the first in-person episode of Take a Sip.
Yes, very much indeed.
But I do got to ask, you know, when Debbie and I filmed the Midday Minute, which of course is the flagship show on our YouTube channel, it's in Debbie's office. And, you know, how did you get this set?
Seriously.
Pulled some strings.
Big episode. It's a big episode.
Exactly. So we're here today to discuss the new Impact Grantees, that are our new class of Impact Grantees for 2022. Very exciting indeed.
Yeah, it's really, I can't wait to hear and see and talk about these lodges. And just a quick shout out to our middies. Our middies travel well. We know they're watching, even though it's not the Midday Minute, right?
Right. We had an opportunity to talk about this on Wednesday on episode 64 to get it all set up for Take a Sip, so I'm sure they're all tuning in.
That's right.
Exactly. Well, thank you for joining us. And thank you, too, for joining us.
It is our distinct pleasure, Meaghan. So how are we going to do this?
Sure. So we're going to go through all 14 Impact Grantees that have been approved for this year. We're going to go through them chronologically by lodge number. So should we jump right in?
Jump right in. Let's do it.
Okay. So congratulations to St. Louis, Missouri, Lodge number 9, who will set students up to take flight after high school through a mentor program at an inner city charter school that will introduce them to various career paths through the SOAR program, lifting at-risk high schoolers to new heights.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love that idea. Sometimes Elks undersell what they bring to the table when it comes to these relationships with youth, right? They can be great mentors and provide an insight into all sorts of careers.
Absolutely. And just getting involved with the charter school and the high school seniors, maybe they're not seniors, maybe they're just all high school students, but helping them understand what's coming next. I mean, you know, it's investing in their education and in their future. So love
Exactly. It's invaluable.
And cool title, too.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love it.
Right? Yep.
Next, we have Chattanooga, Tennessee, Lodge number 91. They will help veterans stay safe and warm in their homes by helping low-income veterans with home repairs through its project, Home Sweet Home.
I feel like this type of project is such a sweet spot for the Elks, not only because it serves veterans, but from almost the beginning of Impact Grants, which I think it was Naugatuck, Connecticut Lodge and their senior home service project. It's something Elks can do. It utilizes one of our competitive advantages as the Elks, which is our army of volunteers that go out there and do work around the houses for people who can't do that themselves. Great project.
Yeah, it is a great project. Couple things too. So you mentioned back to the early days, 2008 is the first year we offered impact grants. The calendar year of 2008, we had 26 impact grantees at that time. I don't think since then we've had a project titled Home Sweet Home.
I know.
Which I love. And I also really like this is kind of a niche that it's veterans who actually own their homes, yet they are they have needs and they're not able to afford oftentimes some of the repairs that need to happen. So
Exactly.
love it.
Exactly. And as you said, just utilizing their skilled laborers at their lodge at the ready.
Yep.
Amazing. Next, we have Newport, Rhode Island, Lodge number 104. They will meet the needs not addressed by WIC or SNAP through the food pantry by providing specialty diet products and other hygiene-related items to family in need through Dignity.
Our smallest state is mighty when it comes to the Impact Grant Program, right?
It
Truly.
really is, yeah. It really is. What I really love about the Dignity Project also is that, you know, obviously throughout the pandemic, we've talked a lot about food insecurity and hunger and all the small grants that have gone to help, you know, alleviate hunger in communities. But that their partnership with the food pantry identified what women and infant children and special, SNAP is Special Nutrition Assistance Program,
Yes.
isn't able to fund, and that they're going to be able to bring in the products and stuff and meet the needs of people who need that food pantry and need additional items. So it's a really great bridging the gap sort of project.
Exactly. I also really enjoyed with this project in particular that they'll be reaching out to the families in need directly to save them, you know, the dignity of having to go and do that in person. So
great.
I think that's really lovely. Next, we have Saratoga Wilton, New York, lodge number 161. They plan to protect some of its most vulnerable citizens through programming aimed at preventing domestic violence while providing support to survivors through engaging and supporting our community to end relationship abuse and sexual assault. So something very interesting about they'll be creating conversations with their community, and they'll also be creating podcasts. So you'll be able to see this project firsthand as it unfolds.
If they need a resource for that, they should feel free to reach out to me and Debbie.
That's right.
Exactly.
We're veterans of the podcast scene.
Exactly.
So we're only 4 in, and I like how different the projects are so far.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I know we have a diverse candidates this year, which is wonderful. Another difference, we have Redlands, California, lodge number 583. They will fill a void that is often overlooked and act as positive male role models for family survivors of domestic violence by providing entertainment and necessary supplies through Elks standing in the gap for single moms.
Again, I feel like I can help with this. I've been a positive male role model for 54 years.
Exactly.
I think this is so of the moment. This project really just speaks to so many women who have been unable to return to the workforce. And even though, many of the lodge members are males, it's not just the male lodge members who are participating in this project, right?
Exactly, yes.
All of the Elks of the Redlands Lodge are going to be helping coordinate this and fill the gaps for these single moms, which I think is just fantastic. And as you said here, it's not something you think about all the time, right?
Yeah.
It's not something you think about, the interactions that children have with positive male role models, because many times teachers at schools are female, and it's great. I can't
Exactly.
wait to see how this unfolds.
Yes, me too. Next, we have Hackettstown, New Jersey, lodge number 658, and they will expand upon past spotlight grants, which is always exciting, to increase family literacy and utilization of library programs through Hackettstown's Elks Little Library Operation, or HELLO boxes.
I feel like that needs a little more oomph. Like, hello, boxes. Right?
Exactly. And they're doing something really interesting too. In these boxes, they're putting what they call golden tickets, which I know is something you're doing for the hoop shoot.
There's some more cross-program promotion.
You will be hearing from our lawyers.
Yeah. Yes. So, but they're doing golden tickets to increase people going to the library and helping in their programming, which I think is wonderful and a great idea.
Yeah.
Obviously, one that you took from us, but
This is also the dream, right? It's they're taking an existing project that they've been funding with one of our smaller grants, and now they're ready to take that next step, and so they've applied for an impact grant to make that happen.
Right. Our small grants aren't really that small anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
We've talked a lot about that. You can get a Beacon grant for $3,500, a Spotlight grant of $2,000, a Gratitude grant up to $3,000. That adds
Some
up.
of those amounts may be going up next year. Little teaser, we'll see. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. But yes, it's like they're not that small, but they got going with a Spotlight grant. And that's oftentimes our response to, through the Impact Intense or through the Impact Grants who might not be receiving funding this year, of how to get started. Like, start doing it, let's see how it happens. And that's what they did. And
Yeah, in the early days of the impact grant, when we were rejecting an application, I felt really bad often to
Yeah.
do that,
Yeah.
because you knew
Time.
here was an idea that wasn't going to happen because we weren't giving them the grant to make it happen. But now we can come back and say, you know what, consider using this other grant. You can do this piece of it
Right.
and grow the thing.
Right.
Maybe in a few years' time, you're ready for an impact grant.
exactly. And then by that point, we're already so familiar with your projects that we're able to help in different ways.
right. Yeah. Hello.
Hello, boxes. Excellent. Now we have Cheyenne, Wyoming, lodge number 660, and this is particularly exciting. It is our first ever Wyoming Impact Grantee with their project Operation Brotherly Love, which will provide meals, support, and resources to people experiencing homelessness in their community.
It's funny that like 13 or 14 years in, you're still, identifying a lodge as the first one from their state, but it
Yeah.
speaks to how small the program is and how competitive these grants are.
Absolutely. I really loved that they indicated, that I think everybody knows that Wyoming is the least populated state of our 50 states, but that they're seeing such growth in their area. And Cheyenne, I think, is the most populated city of Wyoming. And, they are no stranger to people experiencing homelessness. And this lodge is going to do something about it through community partnerships and helping, provide meals and support and all that. So it's looking forward to this one as well.
Yes.
Yeah, one of the most important things with any of our grants is what does your community need?
Right.
And what can you do about it?
That's right.
And then put that into an application and ask us for help, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
That's the bedrock
Yep.
of impact grants.
Truly. And they seem to have such an understanding of what their community needed, especially this community. They're offering veterinarians for the service animals at these lunches, bike mechanics, which I think is wonderful, lawyers and law enforcement to help them deal with issues such as vagrancy. So they really seem to understand what is actually going on in this community and using an impact grant to help.
Yeah. I think this was the application that said, it takes a village, right? That saying of it takes a village to raise a child. And they said, well, it takes a village just in general to support a community, which I think is great.
Exactly. Next we have Lake Hopatcong. I practiced saying that a lot. It obviously did not pan out, but I will get it. Lake Hopatcong, New Jersey, lodge number 782. And they will use its namesake natural resource to develop local environmental sustainability by teaching students from low-income families the importance of water and lake ecology through Lake Hopatcong Elks Floating Classroom.
Maybe we'll just call it the Elks Floating Classroom and know which lodge we're talking about.
Exactly. It's certainly unique enough to stand out.
Yeah, this is an interesting project with, here's something that we have in this community, the lake, right?
Yep.
And an opportunity that the Elks can step in and fill a need.
Right. I think it's so important because just because there's a major body of water in your backyard doesn't mean that you know about it or know how to preserve it or have access to it. I think Lake Michigan is about a block to our east here, and there are a lot of people in the city of Chicago who don't ever visit the lake or know anything about the Great Lakes and what needs to happen to make them stay healthy and green. So I think that this is great. And the lodge is partnering with a community foundation to help make this happen, getting kids to the lake over the summer.
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
Excellent. Next we have Ballard, Seattle, Washington, lodge number 827. They're going to be partnering with the Jubilee Community Center. It's a women's shelter to present the Jubilee Community Gardens. So they will be building community garden while providing cooking classes and other events for the women at the shelter.
Great.
I think Ballard is our largest lodge in the order now, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know.
think so. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's,
For this episode,
yeah, maybe it's
is.
the fastest growing lodge. Yeah.
But you hear a lot about Ballard, obviously. We talked a lot about it in the early days of the pandemic
Yeah.
with your series.
They are trendsetters there.
Yes.
Yes, for sure.
So this is also incredibly exciting to have them working with the Jubilee Center.
Correct, yes. Next we have Augusta, Maine, lodge number 964. They will give high school students an edge when it comes to career choice, with Elks serving as mentors to teach essential job skills and cultivate potential career paths through the EDGE program.
Getting whiplash going from Seattle now back to Maine.
Exactly, both coasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was very interesting because they're going to be partnering with organizations in their town and set the children up who have different interests in the different businesses. So really just bringing the community together to provide these students with, choices down the line.
Right. I think it's this application, it's kind of similar to the first one we talked about, St. Louis. It's a mentorship project that's, working with high school students to help expose them to various career paths. The Augusta, Maine application really spoke to, I think it's a tourist resorty sort of area and how hard hit they've been by the pandemic because obviously the service industries have been hit really hard. So there's a lot of unemployment, and it's really difficult to get people, to fill some of these jobs. So working with high school students, they're hoping they'll stay within the community once they have those opportunities, right?
Exactly. Excellent. Next, we have Santa Maria, California, lodge number 1538. They will host veteran stand-downs and lunches to act as a place for veterans in need to socialize, eat, receive supplies, and obtain information on services provided at the local, state, and federal level.
Santa Maria has the Elks have a huge rodeo that they do there every year, and it's actually the last thing on my Elks bucket list that I would like to attend.
Uh-oh.
Wow. Guess we'll have to go out.
Huge rodeo. I think it's beyond next level sort of rodeo.
Yeah.
They also have a big Christmas, it's like, I would say gathering. I don't know if it's a gathering, but it's like lights and shows. It's like Christmas in the country, I think it's what it's called. They have cars go through. I know this because I just came through my Google alerts recently. So I got to see it. I thought I shared it with you. But
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Santa Maria is on the map for the rodeo, though.
That's amazing. Next, we have Ames, Iowa, lodge number 1626. They will bring the community together through its project, One Ames, providing bi-weekly events to connect people experiencing homelessness with the community at large through educational programming and medical assistance. One thing I thought was interesting about this, they specifically reference infotainment, which I think is quite wonderful. So I'm trying to make the educational events.
We've been on the ground floor of infotainment.
Infotainment.
that movement.
Exactly, we're doing it right now.
They also got
Yeah.
they got started with a spotlight grant, working with the organization The Bridge Home, one of the coalition partners in this One Ames project. So pretty excited about that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Perhaps our most interesting, we have Grangeville, Idaho, lodge number 1825. They will decrease food waste through Feed the Need, providing a variety of classes on food preservation, such as canning, food dehydration, wild game processing, and jerky making.
That is a sentence right there.
I know, right?
Yep.
I think it's wonderful. I know I talk about it a lot. I lived in Wyoming for a spell, and people really do live off the land. And so I know we're, as a country, facing a lot of food insecurity right now, but food waste contributes to that, especially when, if you go out and you hunt a deer, that's taking a deer away from somebody else who could use it. So really having this preservation will definitely act as a catalyst to stop food waste and food insecurity in their area.
Yeah, talk about meeting a community need.
Exactly.
Right? Like, we couldn't here in Chicago tell them, or any of our lodges, like, this is what you should do. They had to. They know their community.
Right.
They know what the need is. They're partnering also with the University of Idaho Extension Co-op, or maybe the Cooperative Extension through the university, so that they're going to get this done. And I am so excited to know how to can. Maybe they can, do something like this. They can record it and send us training videos or something.
That's an idea. Perfect. And our last, but certainly not least, impact grantee, we have Hackettstown, New Jersey, lodge number 2331. They will work with the local Latino community to provide youth enrichment programs, translation services, and adult ESL, English as Second Language resources through Conexiones Españas, or Hispanic Connections.
That's a great project, too.
Yeah.
Really nice diversity, geographic diversity here. 3 New Jerseys, but otherwise it was kind of spread out all over the place, including first-timers in Wyoming and some states we don't see a lot, right?
Right.
Iowa,
Idaho.
Yep.
I think, we obviously had to take a COVID-induced hiatus here for new impact grants. So the last time we did this was in the fall of 2019. When we do this next year, and I am confident that we will be doing it next year, maybe we'll get like a map, like those election coverage maps. And we can swing over from Seattle all the way to Augusta and then back.
Maybe we can have a little bit more budget than we had on the Hoop Shoot Reveal show with that magic wall.
Right.
Yeah,
we can
bring back Jim's
Jim's
magic this
magic
time.
wall.
Yeah, my magic wall on that show. Yeah.
Right.
That's a great idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It is budget season, so we'll add that to the budget.
Perfect.
These are 14 really, really, really exciting projects to get started in 2022. And Megan, I know with your guidance, they're all going to be, really outstanding opportunities to serve these communities.
Yes,
So.
exactly. I couldn't be more excited.
So what's next? What about the grants that we have going, the impact grants that are happening in this year, for 2021?
Sure, yeah. So we have invited 52 lodges to apply to the Impact Renewal Grant. So hopefully we'll see 52 renewal applications in and approved.
That's right. And their deadline is December 31st.
Correct.
Right. And then we also take a look at the fourth quarter report that's due in January. We look
Yep.
at those side by side, hand in hand, so we know how much funding that lodge needs for that project.
So the 52
Exactly.
are the existing impact grant recipients. They're being invited to continue to reapply.
Right.
And these are all new. We're
These are the
adding
new.
these to the impact grant family.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's exciting.
And if you were unable to get an impact grant this year, I will send out information to you to set up a Zoom meeting. We can talk more in depth about that. And otherwise, we really, really encourage you to start with smaller grants. Again, that is the perfect way to start in small without it really being small.
Right.
You can get pretty much half an impact grant with just a beacon and a half an impact grant with a beacon and a spotlight grant. So start small, talk with me, and we'll be able to get you to the impact grant level.
Right. A lot of work goes into these full applications. And
Yes.
so for the lodges who aren't on our list here this year, you've already done all the legwork. So talk to Megan, talk to, the CIP office, and get prepared for next year. Anything else?
No, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Thanks so much for letting us be a part of this. This has been fun.
Yes, thank you so
Yeah.
much for
Fun.
being here with me. And thank you so much for everyone here on Take a Sip. Bye.